was done growing up. Had enough of chasing down the sun, but suddenly I
Yo,
can
good morning.
see
Welcome to my productive morning routine. This is pretty much the morning routine that I follow. I would honestly say every single day. Obviously, some of those days, we still working on consistency. But first thing, always first thing is to make your bed. I'm trying to tell you, like, that's something so small, but it's so powerful because it really gets you your first win of the day, your first task completed successfully the moment that you wake up. But normally, immediately after doing that, I come in here, I gotta brush my teeth. You feel me? It was a long night. You know what I'm saying? The lips is dry, the face is dry. So I'm about to brush my teeth, wash my face, and then we gonna head into doing my morning time devotional. So I'm not gonna really be doing too much yapping. Let's get the face right. All right, so here's my everyday skincare routine. I first start by rinsing my face. After I rinse my face, I use this foaming oil cleanser from Skin Fix. If you don't have foaming oil cleanser, highly recommend. Directly after, I use their moisturizer to moisturize my face. And that's pretty much it, man. I like to keep my morning routines relatively simple. Side note, definitely got to put on the deodorant every morning. Some of y'all boys be forgetting to put this on, and trust me, we can smell you. So please don't forget that. All right, so the very first thing to start the day before we do anything is we got to do our morning devotional. Um, you know, Talking to God, connecting with God at the very start of the day is the most important part. You know what I mean? I'm very strong and believe very strong in my faith, and God is the reason why I am in the position I am today. So it's very important to connect with God every single morning to be able to know the right decisions to make, right? The right paths to go along. God is the roadmap. God is a blueprint. So this is a really good devotional book that I do every single day. It's called Jesus Calling, and it basically has a devotion for every single day of the year. So what I do is I just go in here, I do one of these every single morning, and it really helps to kind of set the tone for the day, and also give me a kind of like a point of emphasis to be thinking about throughout the day, because we always about constantly improving spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, in all areas. So if you're trying to get into reading the Bible and it might be hard for you to just venture off by yourself, this is really a good option. And in fact, I'll put the link to this in the description as well. But let's get into it. In fact, I'm actually going to do this together, right? So if you do end up buying this, you kind of understand how I do it. So I got my Bible here, got the little Jesus Calling devotional. So let's get into it. All right, so today's devotional says, "Trusting me is a moment by moment choice. My people have not always understood this truth. After I performed miracles in the wilderness, my chosen children trusted me intensely, but only temporarily. Soon the grumbling began again, testing my patience to the utmost. Isn't it often the same way with you? You trust me when things go well, when you see me working on your behalf. This type of trust flows readily within you, requiring no exertion of your will. When things go wrong, your trust flow slows down and solidifies. You're forced to choose between trusting me intentionally or rebelling, resenting my ways with you. This choice constitutes a fork in the road. Stay on the path of life with me, enjoying my presence. Choose to trust me in all circumstances." So, this is exactly what I mean of like why I do these devotionals, is because this right here is basically telling us that this is like a really good application. Is when things are going great in our life, right? We trust God. Thank you, God. I trust you. But the moment that something goes wrong or something quote unquote doesn't go according to plan, what we planned for it or how we planned for it to go, that trust begins to slow down, right? We begin to rebel, do different things. But this is saying, listen, you want to remain that same trust regardless of all circumstances. It says, choose to trust me in all circumstances, regardless. When life is going great, when life is going terrible, choose to trust God, and we're gonna be all right. See, one mindset that I like to think of is like anytime something goes bad, if something is going very well, and all of a sudden everything just takes a turn for worse, it's like, listen, God did not bring you this far just to to let you fall off. You know what I'm saying? This trial or this issue that you might be going through, right, might be to build you up, to make you stronger. So yeah, just always stay connected with God. If anything, you should be trusting God even more when stuff is going wrong. Because when stuff is going right, everything is predictable, right? You know what's gonna happen. Everything is cool, smooth. But when things is going bad and you don't know what's going on, that's when that real trust really need to kick in. But a lot of times it's the opposite. We trust God when things are going well. When things are not going well, we don't. So trust God all the time, but especially when stuff is going wrong. Now I got my Bible over here because this the devotional does mention some verses that we should read that are applicable to this. All right, so we're gonna turn to Psalms 31, verse 14. So Psalms 31, verse 14 says, "But I am trusting you, O Lord, saying, you are my God." So it's basically just reiterating what I pretty much just said. So yeah, trust God. He's the answer. Free game, people. All right, so for breakfast, what we're eating, I made me 2 boiled eggs and then also a bagel with cheese on it. Super, super convenient, easy to make. It tastes good, it's quick, but we gonna eat this really quick. Shout out to Plezzy. This gonna be my gym drink today. Shout out to Plezzy, Stephen Curry, little collab. Appreciate y'all for the good hydration, but we're gonna eat this real quick, then we gonna head to the gym because getting moving in the morning is really, really beneficial. So I used to work out at nighttime, but now I kind of moved that to morning. But we're gonna eat this, head out, and finish out this morning routine. Another thing I'm trying to do a lot better at is cooking at home, man. Living by myself and just as busy as I am with all the things I got going on in my life, I tend to eat out every single day. So lately, I have been being very intentional about cooking food at home. All right, chat. So we are here at the gym today. Since today is Saturday, I normally kind of like use Saturdays for more cardio and kind of, active type of workouts. Not necessarily too much weightlifting, but I was low-key inconsistent this week in the gym. So I'm going to hit just a little bit of everything just to kind of catch myself back up. So I'm going to do a little bit of tricep, a little chest, probably a little legs, maybe even run a mile. I'm really just freestyling today. Only because of my regimen is just kind of like out of place. But as long as we get in here and get that physical movement in, that's the most important part. So about to finish stretching, and then yeah, we're gonna be in and out, man. I like to be in the gym, very, very efficient. I'm not here to waste a lot of time or be in here to look cute, bro. I'm trying to get this workout in, and we out. So on chest day, normally when I do When I do dumbbell presses, I started out with only using like 45, 50, worked my way up to 60. Last week I did 65. I'm about to try it for the very first time with the 70-pound dumbbells. I've never done this before. I don't know what this is, how this is gonna go, but yeah, we're gonna give it a try, man. We're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna like chat. It was heavy. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I did like a solid 3 of them, but that mug too heavy, bro. I'm gonna rush around and hurt myself. All right, so that is pretty much my productive morning routine. Like I say, I typically do this every single morning. The one thing that I switched, like I believe I was saying earlier in the video, is I used to work out at nighttime, but I actually started doing that early in the morning just because it helps to wake me up. It helps me to get my day started. Like right now, it's morning time. I'm wide awake. I'm ready to dive right into the day and do whatever work I need to take care of. But what I will say is the importance of a morning routine, right? It is practically the morning time when you first wake up, right? The decisions that you make as soon as you open your eyes will set the tone for the rest of the day, right? So like when you're waking up, if the first thing you do is go on Instagram, right, and start scrolling and do a 30-minute social media session, right, you're already starting your day with procrastination, right? Instead of taking care of the things that you need to get done, you're in your phone looking at other people's lives and just looking at stuff you shouldn't even really be looking at. You know what I mean? It's the first thing in the morning. You want to keep your mind fresh, clear. So for me, the very, very, very first thing that I'll always like to do is connect with God first, because that sets the tone for my day. That puts me in the right mental space for the day. And so with the morning routine, right? If you have a routine, everybody's routine can look different. Your routine does not have to look exactly like mine. Maybe you say, hey, I am a gym person that likes to go at nighttime. That is fine. But it's important to have a morning routine because it ultimately increases your productivity, right? Regardless of what it is, especially when you remain consistent. Morning routines also build discipline because of that consistent factor. So the fact that you're doing the same exact task, the same 4 or 5 tasks in the same exact way consecutively, right? In a consecutive amount of days, you build discipline. You make it a habit, right? And good habits lead to good results. So I try and be very, very intentional about doing the same exact thing every single morning, even on the weekends. Now, I won't lie, Sundays I don't go to the gym at all. Even a lot of times on Saturdays I don't go to the gym. Pretty much every single weekday I'm doing the same exact routine. And then morning routines also improve your overall well-being, right? Being able to take time to set aside for self-care and actually, tend to your mental needs, your emotional needs. It helps you to stay well-rounded as an adult, even as a teen, whoever's watching this, as a human being, I should say. One of the mistakes that I made was I was so addicted to the grind and work, and on my computer grind, is that I wasn't setting aside time, right, for self-care to make sure that I am operating and taking care of my body physically, mentally, spiritually. I was so locked in on, hey, I need to do this task and do this right now. But what I do, for example, is with my business, with my content creation, everything that I have going on, I treat that like a 9-to-5 job, right? I literally work from 9 to 5 every single Monday through Friday, right? So when you think of a content creator, a lot of people think that it's, hey, I just post videos whenever I want to, and just like, I'm sure there are some people out there doing that, but for me personally, I don't do that. I take this craft very, very seriously of what I do. I love to do it, and I want to do it at a very high level. So I treat it like a 9-to-5 job, my business and my content creation, right? So when I wake up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, those first 3 hours, those first 2 hours of my day are for my self-care, right? It's for self-care, it's for my mental, it's for my spiritual, and then also for other little miscellaneous tasks. So like, I didn't really show it today, but when I wake up and I do my morning routine, my self-care, my devotional, and I have an hour left, it's 8 o'clock, a lot of times I'll straighten up the house, right? I'll do things, but I don't dive into my work until 9 o'clock. That is my official start time for me when it comes to all of my work. And then at 5 p.m., that's when I'm done. That's when it's optional for me to stop. So for example, somebody says, hey man, you want to hang out tonight or today, right? At 2:30, I'm sorry, I can't. It has to be after 5 o'clock, right? Because after 5 o'clock, I have the decision to make, hey, do I want to hang out or do I want to continue working on whatever I'm working on? So That's ultimately what it takes to get to the next level. You have to have discipline. You're not going to get to where you want to be by just continuously freestyling every single day and hoping that your dreams are going to come true or you're going to accomplish your goals, right? You have to be intentional and consistently intentional about getting to where you want to be. So I hope you feel inspired by this video. I hope that now you sit down and create your own productivity, morning routine or whatever it looks like. But really, I challenge you on taking time, like as soon as possible. Do not put this off. Take some time today to really sit down and analyze your current morning routine, right? Analyze your current morning routine and create a new morning routine if you find some areas in your routine that you're like, hey, I can optimize this. So small things such as making up your bed, right? That's the first task you can immediately accomplish when you wake up in the morning. That's the first task you can immediately accomplish. That's the first task you can immediately accomplish when you first wake up in the morning. Making your bed. Very simple, right? Maybe it's, hey, I don't want to check my phone until I get done with my morning routine. Whatever it is, come up with a morning routine and follow that morning routine for 30 days in a row, Monday through Sunday. Follow it for 30 days in a row and go back and decide what you like and what you don't like, right? And tweak it to where you can get your best, most productive, optimized morning routine that fits the best for your schedule. Because let's be real, some people have to wake up at 5 a.m. and be at work at 6 a.m. So waking up at 3 a.m. and having a 3-hour morning routine just might not be feasible for you, and that's okay. Your morning routine does not have to be a 2-hour thing. It could be 20 minutes, but it's just the importance of having a routine. Your morning routine can simply be waking up in the morning, reading 10 pages out of your Bible or your book or whatever, making your bed, brushing your teeth, and making breakfast, and doing 10 sit-ups, right? A morning routine can be 5-10 minutes. It does not have to be long. Please do not get that idea from this video. But you want to make sure it's something that you can stay consistent with and something that's authentic and true to you. So hope you got some value out of this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are not. Winner Circle family, man. We're all about wins, getting those daily wins. I now have to actually be productive today after my morning routine. So I'm about to deep dive, get into some work, edit some videos, edit some content for y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.